Where would we be in life without the letter R? Well, Prince Hay would merely be a member of the oil family. Our country would be ruled by someone called Godon Bone. And as for this car, well, it simply wouldn't exist. Fortunately though, we do have the letter R in our language, which means our recession is as relentless as it is risible. And the car I'm sitting in, the Volkswagen Scirocco R, is very much the real deal. When Volkswagen invented the hot hatch way back in the summer of 1976, not even Ferdinand Piëch himself could have imagined that his beloved company of the people would produce a car like this. But in a sense, the Scirocco R is no more, and certainly no less, than a modern interpretation of that original Golf GTI. What's perhaps most surprising about the Scirocco R though, is that despite having 265 horsepower, thanks to a turbocharged engine that's been pinched straight from the Audi S3, it's still only front-wheel drive, just like the Golf GTI. So what does your £26,500 actually buy you with the Scirocco R? Well, on paper, not that much more. Yes, it has more power, yes, it has more performance, in theory. In reality though, it feels quite different to the normal car. A, it's a lot faster, much more accelerative, but B, is that it has a proper driver's car personality about it. There are all sorts of things that I really do like about this car. The steering is one of them. It's delicious, miles better than the normal Scirocco. The engine, it offers lots of performance, and the best thing of all, I think, about this car is the DSG gearbox. It is sensational. Allow me to demonstrate. The chassis on this car is great. It might have 265 horsepower. Tell you what, it deals with that amount of power really, really well. It's got slightly stiffer springs, fractionally uprated dampers. You've got a sport button down here which stiffens the ride up a little bit. Overall though, it just handles really, really sweetly. Good car though the Scirocco R undoubtedly is, it is far from alone in offering giant felling performance through its front wheels, and at a price that at least some of us can afford. There is one rather obvious and rather excellent rival with which it has to contend. It is, of course, the Ford Focus RS. I know we've driven this car a million times before, but every time you climb into it, it blows your mind. It is that good to drive, and it's also that quick, even after the Scirocco. And it's also more exciting. But there are one or two issues. The driving position is one. I feel as if I'm sitting up at someone's dining room table sat behind the wheel of this car, which is not great for a sports car. It also has torque steer, more so than the Volkswagen. That's a surprise. It's also more expensive than the VW, but worst of all is the cabin. I hate to say this, but it feels a bit cheap in here after the Volkswagen. Mind you, it still does this. So let me try and guess what you're now thinking. You're thinking that the winner of this test is blue, front-wheel drive and turbocharged, and you'd be right on all three fronts. What I guarantee you that you are not right on is which one actually wins. Well, it is the Scirocco R that wins. Why? Because it's cheaper, it feels more expensive, it's just as quick in the real world, and I actually think it's even more fun to drive. In my mind, that makes this test the biggest upset of this year.